it. Please let me know about it. Career and entrepreneurship. What is it? What is so interesting about it that you're looking forward to experience or learn from today's session? I would like to read from you before I give any intro, anything. Please, you can unmute your mic if you want to speak out, or you can raise your hand, please. We have some 3-4 minutes to buy in before we have a facilitator in. So I just want us to break the ice and share some of the insights. Yes. So please, I'm seeing there are 19 people in the room. Please let me know, what is it about today's session? Today, the session is about juggling career and entrepreneurship. You know, the two can be related. Sometimes they're far apart. So what is it? What is it about it that got you interested to join today's session, that you say, let me just be there and you know, I want to see, are you doing both career and entrepreneurship? Are you interested to, what are you looking? I don't want to suggest anything. Atieno says to be able to have a successful career, but also get involved in entrepreneurship ventures. Interesting. So where are you, Atieno? Are you in the career? Are you in the both? It'll be nice to know. Gapinsi, how to maintain an equilibrium and not being lost in the midst of both. I understand. Okay, currently doing both. Thank you. So anyone who is, I don't know if I'm going ahead of the session here, but I would like to know, like, why are you interested in today's session? What are you looking forward to experience? Mubashira says, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, by the way. Mubashira Pand. The last session put me into wanting and thinking of volunteering more instead of just waiting for vacancies. Awesome. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. And if you need any help around that, I think feel free to reach out for ideas or things like that. I think we had quite an interesting discussion in our peer session on that. So good to hear that feedback. Thank you. Okay. So I would like to hear from you people, you good people, anyone who would like to come on board and just speak, share something about today's session, juggling career and entrepreneurship. Okay, I'm pronouncing it right. Thank you. All right. So, okay, are there people who are doing both career and entrepreneurship? Let me see some yeses. If you're doing career and entrepreneurship, but that means you're working somewhere 9-to-5 job and then you're running a business. Let's see some hands. If you're doing a 9-to-5 or you're employed somewhere and then you're running a business, side hustle. We call it side hustle. I don't like that name, but yeah. Anyone in the room? Okay, maybe you're just doing business and then you want to go into career. Can I see some responses? Wow, I think I should call it a DJ to just play some background music so that we can have this silence accounted for. So those who are just joining in, welcome to Job Searching and Acquiring Skills program. It's one of our last facilitator-led session, and we're going to be talking about career and entrepreneurship. And I'm just here asking a few questions here and there, learning about your experience so far, but also your expectations from this program. And I would like to know, where are you right now and what's your expectation from this session? Whether you are in career trying to go into entrepreneurship, or you're already doing both, or you're in entrepreneurship and want to do something around, you want to look for a job. Yes, I'm looking forward. This is Anita, to learn from the entrepreneurship because I want to be an entrepreneur one day. Thank you for sharing that, Anita. Caroline, I have tried both work and business, but it has not been successful because of limited time to manage it successfully. So I think this session helped me. Thank you so much, Caroline. Okay, okay, that's great. That's great. So I have a lot to say about these two wonderful and amazing fields, and I think I don't want to exhaust anything from our facilitator, but I think it's not just there. Some myths that we have, misconception around, entrepreneurship and career, or like finding yourself in both and things like that. But also, we usually, we oftentimes find ourselves in either of those as some victims of circumstances. So I hope this session helps us to kind of, if we want to go into career, we want to go into entrepreneurship, or we want to mix it all together, it has to come from a place where you are conscious, you are ready, you are equipped as well, and you're also informed. So that will make that experience not as unbearable as you would find out, you'd find it out to be. So I hope, we have done much more work on the career side, because that's the place where most of you are already looking to enter, or you're already there, but you're looking for something stable. So there's a lot of preparations that we have worked on, that from your mindset, knowing what you want, how to search for jobs, how to apply, how to position yourself, and things like that. So we hope while you're working towards achieving that career success, or getting that job and really grow through that, at any point in time when you think about entrepreneurship as an idea, as something to venture into, it shouldn't come from a biased point of view, where you're ignorant, or you just feel like you have to go into it and things like that. So we want to break that. We want to break all those misconceptions, or a lot of things that can affect your thinking and your performance around that, and maybe even your approach. So that if you want to go into that, then it comes from a place where you feel ready, confident, and things like that. So we hope we can have an engaging session. Let's feel free to use the chat. If you want to speak, you can raise your hand. So let me take this opportunity to welcome our facilitator of the day. She's an amazing lady, an accomplished lady, and I feel privileged to know her and to have worked with her. And she's been with us throughout these programs. Those of you who have been through with us in the previous sessions, you would hear her contributing here and there. So her name is Nema Robert, Dr. Nema Robert. And by doctor, guys, she's not a medical doctor. She's a PhD holder, and she's young. She's young and just an inspirational, wonderful lady. So welcome, Dr. Nema, and we hope to have an amazing, wonderful session with you. So everybody, round of applause, drum rolls. I forgot the gist.
Thank you, Felicia. Thank you for that amazing introduction. Good evening, everyone. Good evening from, I think, all over the world here. Nice. I was reading your chat, and I just love the energy in here. Everyone is so ready to be able to grab something from today's session. And I pray and hope that I'll be able to meet your expectations. But no pressure. No pressure. We'll have some time for question and answers. If I'll not be able to touch everything you're looking forward to, we'll be able to do that during that session. My apologies. I just cannot connect my video so that we can see each other. Something happened, some technical issue, but I hope that you can bear with me. on that, you can still hear my voice, and if it will allow myself, then I'll be able to connect the video. But for now, please allow me to go like that. Let me share my screen, then I'll continue to introduce myself as we proceed. And kindly let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Great. Yes, so I'll just do a quick introduction again relating to the topic. I am teaching at the University of Dar es Salaam at the business school. And I do a lot of teachings around entrepreneurship among the other disciplines which I do. But me, myself, I have been an entrepreneur. Now when I was thinking about this introduction, I was like, was I really an entrepreneur or I just owned some businesses? we'll come to understand that later. But before today, I say that I was an entrepreneur since the age of 11. That was a long time ago. I was standard 5 by then. And that's when I started my small business, and I didn't stop doing business until today. I've been in the career, in the job employed for 12 years now, going 13 years, and I've never stopped doing business. Of course, there's a lot of ups and downs, as we're gonna talk more about it as we proceed. But so far, we are in a good place. That's why I can even be able to share with you a little bit of the wisdom which I have collected throughout the process in this journey, which is really, really amazing. Okay, I see my slides are not moving. Let me see. Let me try again. Now they are moving.
Oh, great.
So yes, so I want to start with this case study, which I found it when I was going through LinkedIn, and I really wanted to quote the person, and then I realized I screenshotted, and then I didn't screenshot her name. That's very unfortunate, but this is her case. So I'm gonna pose it to you, and then you're gonna answer to me in the chat room. I really want this session to be as interactive as possible. If you want to raise your hand, I'm sure Felicia will also give you a chance to contribute by talking. If you want to type in the chat, please do so. But because I'm a lecturer, I really like my classes to be as interactive as possible, because I don't want to be the only person speaking. So this is not the story, the reality, but it is. So this lady is saying, in 2019, when I walked into work one day, and by evening, I left without a job. I thought that's the worst thing that would ever happen to my life. It was my first job after campus. I was there for 3 years, working overtime all week with no overtime pay, but I did my best. I was so discouraged and confused. I had no savings and no plan B. So I'm just gonna give you this part only of the case so far before I will tell you what happened. So imagine this is you. You've been out of campus, you've been employed, and one day you just walked into the work and you don't have a job. You came in employed and then you don't have a job anymore. What do you think you would do if this was you in her situation, in her shoes? What would you have done? You have no savings, you have no plan B, you've been giving it your all for 3 years, overtime working, nobody sees it, no overtime pay, but there it is, you don't have a job anymore. So what do you think happened? Or if this was you, what would you have done? Let's hear some contribution before we proceed. And I want us to be as free as possible. There's no right answer, wrong answer. Just say what could you have done, or what do you think happened after this situation? And then I'll share with you later what happened. So please, if you can type in chat, it's fine. But if you can just raise your hand and you're gonna get a chance to speak, please do so. I want us to talk a little bit on this before we move to another thing. I want to hear your views and opinions on this. Yes.
Okay. So I'm just looking out for any responses. Please, if you can raise your hand if you want to speak up. Let's try to be. I think also. Okay, people are saying I would be devastated. Jacqueline, Amina said I would literally break down. I think. Do you, Dr. Nema, do you want people to also say what they would do or how they would feel?
Yes. What they
Okay,
would have
so
done. Yes, you feel
yeah.
devastated, then what? What's the next step? Yes.
Thank you for that clarification. Please let's try, because this is a real life situation, by the way. It could be anyone's case. So let's try
Okay.
to put ourselves in those shoes and share. What would you do? Please, not just how you felt. Yes, you're broken, you're devastated. Let's hear you, and maybe one person can raise hand and
Sure.
I'd like to really encourage you guys to interact in as much as you can so that we can have the most of it. If you feel maybe you can't
Please
speak
do.
up,
Please be interactive.
um,
Yes.
use the chat. Uh, okay, Annette says, because I have experience, I would try to seek volunteering somewhere else. Okay.
I see there's a hand
Jacqueline.
from Whoopi.
Okay, Whoopi, would you please unmute and speak up?
Thank you. I think it will be very sad in the first place. So I think the first thing will be I allow myself to mourn because it's a devastating thing. So probably a week or something. And then I reach out to my family for help in terms of how I'll be able to sort my bills in probably the next 2 months or whatever. Then I start assuming, because we've been working for 3 years, we probably have gotten connections, maybe they're customers you had talked to or whatever. So those people, I reach out to them and be like, I've been laid off and I'm looking for new opportunities. So I start talking to the people maybe I've interacted with in those 3 years in the workspace. Yeah, but my first step will be allowing myself to mourn, because then I'll get over it and then I get on my toes. And also, I think the other thing is to make sure I accept help, because at times when you're in such a place, you do not want other people to know how down bad you are. And you want to put up a face and you want to show people that I'm still okay, because it's like there's a lot of stigma around being jobless and not having a source of income. So just allow your people to be there for you as you figure it out. Yes.
Thank you. All right. That was great hearing from Whoopi. So there are a few chats. Anita. Okay, I think Jacqueline says I would try to look for another job, as for the meantime, I'll take any work, even small pay, to fill the stomach. Anita says I would be heartbroken, but will accept it as volunteering job. I don't know, but I think this is like I think the job is no longer open for you. Let's maybe it's another one. Nelson says I could check out for another job elsewhere. Caroline, I take time to reflect what I have as a resource and utilize it as a stepping stone, that is skills, knowledge, networks, land, etc. Okay. Marco says I could manage to think positive and try something new to make life go.
Okay. Great responses. Thank you for everyone who responded and shared what they could have done. So a situation which happened, I like this. Somebody say, I think all pastors in the city shall know this challenge. Okay. So this situation could have happened to anyone. It could have happened to me or to you or to anyone. And this is happening, I would say, every day in different workplaces. Sometimes you will hear people say, private sector is not very safe. Somebody can just fire you. or if you don't meet the targets, then your job is in line and something like that. So something like this can happen. It can happen at any point in our career. But how much are we prepared for a situation like this? So the first idea for me to bring this here is to make you think that something like this can happen. As much as we are trying to find jobs, we are trying to get employed, we are trying to be in those careers and build ourselves, we are trying to find a place safe so that we can earn something at the end of the month. Something like this can happen. It can happen one day you don't have a job anymore. And in a situation like this, what are you going to do next? Yes, you're going to go and look for another job. But in that period, what are you going to do? Finding a job is also not very easy. We see a lot of people who are unemployed and they're looking for jobs. Actually, as a matter of fact, now, because of the economy, which has been shaking all over the world, we know that unemployment rate is even increasing. Probably we are looking forward to see more offices or companies going down or retrenching or trying to cut some expenses. So moving to another job can be an option, but how fast it is. Volunteering can be an option, but how fast it is. Taking into account again that we are moving so fast to digital world, to artificial intelligence. A lot of these technologies are coming to replace human capital. So as much as we are trying to think that I'll always get another place to fit myself in, I'll always get another job, we have to sometimes think a little bit outside the box. My friend likes to say, not outside the box, outside the room, because you really don't know what will come next, and you have to be prepared every time. Like if situation like this happen, I have to be prepared. And this is a huge topic of itself, how to be prepared out there, talking about things like investment and things like that. But today I just want to focus on entrepreneurship. So for me and for some of the people who I know, entrepreneurship or side hustles, as most of us like to call them, another source of money, another stream of income, is always have to be there as a backup or as a support or as a growth and development for your own as you continue with your career. So we don't put all the eggs in one basket, but we always try to diversify our sources of income. So as much as we really want to grow our careers, we also want to be safe when it comes to our income, our revenue, so that we can be able to put the food on the table. And that's why we are talking about entrepreneurship. That's why we're talking about this side hustles, another business, another what. So let me just move. Sorry, this looks like technology issue. So what do we think? After I talked about all this, and we know we've heard about entrepreneurship, we know that there are a lot of people who believe that they're entrepreneurs or they're doing entrepreneurship. What do we think? Is entrepreneurship for everyone? I just want one person to say, or two, please, two. Is entrepreneurship for everyone? Most of us, we've heard about entrepreneurship. That person is having a business or is doing entrepreneurship. That's how we define it. Do we think that is for everyone? Please raise your hand and speak or type in the chat.
Whoopi says no. Thomas says yes.
Okay.
Gapinsi says yes, but to me, it's how you make it work. Rotendo, no, it's not. Caroline, I think no, but it takes courage and commitment. No, it's not for everyone because you have different talents. Nelson, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. Ruth, Juliet, not really.
Okay.
Caroline.
I love the confusion. I love it that way because that's the way it is. Some people believe that entrepreneurship is for everyone. Some people believe that it's not for everyone. So let's see. I don't know why every time I try to move my slides, it's not behaving.
I think, yeah, I think there's something with Zoom sharing presentation
It's
sometimes,
stuck, eh?
especially with the transitions. So I think the other problem we had the other day, it was also
Oh,
because of, yeah, so if your presentation has some transitions, I think there's a bit of an
oh,
issue
but
with,
it doesn't have any transition that I know. Anyways, let's see how it goes.
okay.
Okay. So this person say, I don't think so. So I got these answers from, so I had to do a mini research, talk to the people around me, but I also did a research online. Is entrepreneurship for everyone? And I see some answers. And this one said, I don't think it's for everyone. And he gave his justice for this, or justifications. He said, first, I think seriously, you have to be thick-skinned when you're going for entrepreneurship, because you'll get plenty of rejections, you'll make plenty of mistakes, you will fail so many times to lose count, but you must keep going. So you really have to be thick-skinned if you want to be an entrepreneur. Then he said, you have to be highly resilient. Following from the above, when failure in one shape or another happens, you have to move on. You can't take days to sob over it. You've got to pick yourself up and get a move. So these people are like you don't have to allow feelings to take over you and stay there. You have to be able to move as quickly as possible for you to fall in that. And then he said, willing, as an entrepreneur, one day you are all dressed up in your tailor-made suit and tie, meeting the big CEO. And the next day you might be in your overalls, wiping your office or factory's bathroom. So it's a game of chance sometimes. Today you have it, tomorrow, boom, it's gone. And ask me, because I've been in this for many, many years, and I've tried a lot of businesses and hustles on the side. Counting them, probably there will be more than 10 that I can firstly remember. And it's not like they were not good paying businesses. I've done from selling clothes to offering some services, doing some stationaries, working in the salon, doing everything which you can think about in a small business. And good chances to grow, good chances to move forward. But sometimes things just happen. And when things happen, then it's not moving. And you really lose everything which you already put in. Then he said you have to be curious. You've got to be immensely curious about everything. You need to have that drive to learn about anything that is shaping the world as we know it. So he believed that for you to be an entrepreneur, you have to be curious. You have to have that curiosity, which not everyone has, according to him. And then he said you have to be multidisciplinary. Because sometimes when you're starting up, you have to do everything. You got to be a jack of all trades. You sometimes the selling person, you are the financing person, you are operations, you are HR, you are the cleaner, you are everything in that small thing which you're starting up. So not everyone is ready to be all of that. I know in every society it's like that. Even here in my country, there are those girls or boys I see from my students who are just up there, like the levels. They don't do just not anything. So if you tell them, go do this, sell this, clean your place, do this, it's not for them. So that's what he believed, that because of these points which he gave, you think entrepreneurship is not for everyone. But others said, my perspective is that anyone can be an entrepreneur, but entrepreneurship is not for everyone. So this guy bring out that there is a difference between entrepreneur and entrepreneurship. The other one said most people can be entrepreneurs if they are shown it is an option. Most people I worked with didn't even know it was an option. So he thinks that people can be entrepreneurs, anyone can be if they are shown that it's an option. And this one said, yes, but it purely depends on interests of a person. If interest is there, then the skills can be acquired on the go, else it is difficult. So he believed that it has to come from inside. that if you have interest of being an entrepreneur, and that's the thing which you really believe that will make you happy, that's the thing you want to do, then you can be able to acquire the skills and be able to do it well. So that's what I believe. So you see that there's a lot of contradictions on people believing that can you be an entrepreneur, yes or no, is really not a straight answer. So this bring us to this, that there are some of the qualities of an entrepreneur, and maybe this is not all of them, but these are the ones which I managed to come up with. So you have to be visionary, a dreamer, but you have to be realistic. So later you will see that I will talk about this, that entrepreneur, you can even be employed, but still have that entrepreneurship, entrepreneur's qualities. So most of the times, the leaders in the organizations or in the institutions or companies we're working must possess these entrepreneurship qualities, the entrepreneur's qualities, for the organization to be able to develop and grow. If the leader is there but doesn't have this entrepreneur's quality, you will see that you're just making a mark time, you're not moving very fast, or a head of department or whatever. But even a normal employee, you will just note a difference when somebody have this entrepreneur's quality. So if you have to be a visionary, you have to be a dreamer, you have to be able to see where you want to go and kind of see the way for you to maneuver to get there. So you can already see that you're gonna have this big company, but then you're trying to be as realistic as possible, that I'll start small, I'll start from here, I'll move here, I'll go there. And I think one day in this course, we talked about the vision board. And when you have the vision board, you can be able to put your dream there, your vision there, and be able to now say, connect the dots. How can I move from one point to another, from this point to that point, as a visionary? So you got to be realistic. I like to say, don't draw numbers on the air, that I'll do this, but it's not realistic. An entrepreneur has to be a researcher. You cannot just have an idea and boom, go and do it. You have to be a researcher. You have to be somebody who likes to get information, likes to get data, likes to get experiences, be able to get from other people's stories, get more information on that thing which you want to do. They say data is the new gold. So you have to be able to get as much data as you can, even informal data, whether it's formal data, so that you can be able to fatten your idea. You have to have that attitude toward the process, because as this person said, this journey is not a straightforward journey. It has a lot of issues on the side, which will come as you proceed. So what's your attitude when you fail? What's your attitude when things are not moving the way they're supposed? What's your attitude when people are giving you feedback which you don't like? Or when you face challenges, when you go back to zero and you have to start again? Do you have that positive, aggressive, but humble attitude to be able to move forward? Because sometimes you will have to be able to connect, to network, to connect with people. Sometimes you have to be able to build your brand, to create and develop your brand. Sometimes you have to be able to have those ethics, all these topics we've learned. But all of those, they are revolving around the attitude which you have. The attitude is the one which will take you to the next person, to the next network. The attitude will take you to the next point. But you must have resilience, very thick-skinned. You must have resilience to be able to push through, I always like to say that you have to push more than where you think this is my end, push beyond that. So resilience is something which is also a quality of an entrepreneur. Push time. Sometimes you like to work 12 hours per day. Sometimes you need to work 18 hours maybe in the beginning. You have sometimes to work even 24 hours. I found myself sometimes working. There's a time I worked 3 days without sleeping. I was just having a coffee and just try to push through. And sometimes you have to push yourself to that extent. and be able to also accept when you have those hard criticism which you don't like to hear, but they are building you. But you have to be brave and willing to take risk. I think this can be number one. Also, a quality of an entrepreneur, people who are risk taker. If you're not a risk taker, I would say from my experience, maybe you are not going to be moving very fast in the entrepreneurship journey. So you have to be a risk taker, be able to make those hard decisions sometimes and jump into it and see what will happen. And this one we can see even in our leaders, presidents, and something like that. Sometimes somebody asked me a question, a very tricky question about some decision which a certain president made. And I was like, sometimes you have to make a hard decision, you have to take risk. And that's the thing which also connects to entrepreneurship or entrepreneur. That's why I said, you don't need to have a business there which is moving for you to say that you're an entrepreneur. Sometimes you can be an intrapreneur, which we are going to see. So these are some of the qualities, but you can think about the others and you can add as much as possible. So you'll see that there's a difference between entrepreneurship and an entrepreneur. While entrepreneurship, it's a process, an entrepreneur, it's a person now who carries this process, who creates and develop a business idea, who now is a visionary, a dreamer. This is an entrepreneur. But an entrepreneurship now is that practice and the process of being creative, innovative, push it forward until now it's an enterprise, it's developing, it's growing. So most of the people can start as, can have this spirit of entrepreneurs, or they want to do entrepreneurship, but they are not really doing entrepreneurship as it is, but they have this entrepreneurs quality. So these are two different words, and they stand differently. But I would say this: everyone who succeed in entrepreneurship is an entrepreneur, but not everyone who is an entrepreneur can be implementing entrepreneurship process at that particular time. So you can be an entrepreneur, but then to put it in action and put that to carry that process, now it goes to entrepreneurship. So think of a person, think of this scenario. We think of a person who is sitting on the side of your home and who has been selling the same type of food from the same size of saucepan or pot from the same tabletop, and may not have been able to change their standard of living to any appreciable extent. Such a person may be a business person, but not an entrepreneur. So we've seen these people around our communities. At the side of our houses, there's this neighbor who have this shop. Who you growing up, you see this shop, it's always there. And nothing has changed. Yeah, this person is always there. Sometimes it's in the school. From people finished 10 years ago, they'll still ask, is John still there selling this, what? And yes, he's still there. This person is just doing business, but not an entrepreneur. Why? Because an entrepreneur or intrapreneur is a business-minded person who always finds ways to improve and grow in business. So if you think, if some of us in this group, we are already doing these businesses, but we are really not growing, we are almost there, years come, years go. Maybe we are doing businesses, but we are not really entrepreneurs. We are not really having those qualities of entrepreneur. We're not visionaries. We are not brave enough. We're not doing as much as it's expected for an entrepreneur to do. So there are different types of entrepreneurs, which people talk about. There are those which we call natural entrepreneurs. And these who are born that way and simply can't help themselves. And I think I'm one of them because I just like to have something on the side. Like I'm not complete unless I have something else on the side, which is generating some revenue, some income for me. My father is 100% an entrepreneur. He has been doing that. I see him growing in his businesses, opening other businesses, other lines of businesses. All of us went to school, 8 children, from what he was doing. He has never been employed. He employed himself and employed the others. So I think maybe I got some traits or genes from him, but that's the way I have been. Like, I just simply can't help myself to be without an entrepreneur. And maybe as I'm reading this, you can evaluate yourself and put in the chat, do you think you are falling in which group here? Then we have self-made entrepreneurs. So these self-made entrepreneurs are those who were not born that way, but have nevertheless proactively started their own ventures. So these ones see that there is an option in entrepreneurship and they learn about it, they collect some information, they do some research, they start their ventures, and the ventures are growing. They put in some hard working, some resilience, they become brave enough to do some difficult decisions, and things are moving. So these ones we call self-made entrepreneurs. I watched one movie in Netflix, I don't remember the name, but this woman who made some hair food. If you know the movie, you can write it in the chat. I don't remember, but it's a US woman, a black American woman who was self-made entrepreneurs, and then she became very big entrepreneur herself. So you can be a self-made entrepreneur, even if you think that it's not running in your family, but you see that as an option. Then there are those we call survival entrepreneurs. And these one are those who have founded a business out of the necessity of putting food. So I have some of them, my friends, who are like, entrepreneurship is not for me, but I just have to do it because I need something to eat. I need to put some food on my table, but this is not my thing. So they're just doing it for the sake of doing it, but it's not their thing. And these ones, even if they grow, they really put so much effort to be able to grow, because anything, this is what I believe, anything to work out, you must be able to have passion on it, have interest on it, do it with all your heart, and enjoy as you do it. So it has to come from within, it has to come from inside of you, and then you can be able to put your all in it. So there are those who are doing these survival entrepreneurs. And then I have my friends who are falling under these aspirational entrepreneurs, sometimes called entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs, they're those people who they are very good to talk and give ideas. So you see somebody is in a meeting today saying that this idea, talking and writing and doing this, but we don't really see anything moving. Every day you meet this person who tell you stories, you know, I want to do this, I want to do this, there's this, but they really not making any step. They don't even start something, but they are very good on talking. So they spend a lot of time reading, meeting, thinking, talking, and call themselves entrepreneurs, but never actually get around to founding a venture. So who do you think you are among these? Do you think you're a natural entrepreneur, self-made entrepreneur, survival, or aspirational entrepreneur? And this also falls even in our workplaces. You can just see the difference among these people. Okay, let me just make some progress. Apologies for this. So there's also different types of entrepreneurship. Because we already say that these are different stories, so there are different types also of entrepreneurship. So there are those which we call small businesses. And this could be anything from a restaurant to a retail store. Typically don't have any intention of becoming a chain or a franchise. So somebody's just starting a small business, or I'm just having my small shop, I'm just selling some things, I'm just selling some pizza. I don't have any intention of making it grow to something big. I just want to have my small business. And most of the time it looks like somebody else's idea, or that one is having a shop selling women clothes. I'm also going to have a shop of selling women clothes. Or if I change much, then I say I'm selling kids clothes or men clothes, but we are just around the same ideas. So it's just there for providing an extra income, but no major dreams or visions or around it. And then we have those which we call scalable startups. So scalable startups are those which now have a room to grow and become bigger. So most of the time, the innovators, they fall under the scalable startups. So they simply start small, and you will hear these stories. Most of the big rich people we know, they will tell you their stories. It started like this. It started in my room. It started in my garage. It started in my dorm room. It started on campus. So it started as an idea. And people, maybe they don't buy in the idea, but you continue to push forward. Whether it's fintech, something to do with technology or something to do with what, but you have this idea and it's burning inside of you. And you can see it, you can see the end, you can see the vision of it. But every time when you're trying to tell people about it, they don't really get it, you know. And me, I like to say, you know what, it's my vision. I am the one who have the vision and the dream. So it's fine for you not to be able to get it. You will understand as we proceed. So most of the innovators, people who are coming with these innovations, people don't understand them at first, but when they put everything together, then they can be able to attract attention of big investors who then can put money in those ideas to be able to scale them up. And nowadays, recently, we've seen a lot of investors willing to put money in impact related investments or ideas. If you have your idea which is having some impact in environmental or climate change or social impact, people are attracted to that. Some technology or digital ideas, people are attracted to that. So you can be falling in this group of scalable startups. And then we have intrapreneurs. These are the ones who are entrepreneurs who are working in companies. So you might be employed.
I don't know if it's just me. Can you guys hear Dr. Nema?
In this company, it's a large company, and you're just working as members of that organization. Or they could have benefited that extra line of business or that extra product. And you already can see this opportunity, and you start to make the most of that opportunity. You use the opportunity. So we call them intrapreneurs because they are working in the another company, but they see potentials in the products and services around, and see where they can be able to venture and make a side money out of that company's line of business. So the advantage of this, you'll be able to use your employer's resources and your employer's connections, sometimes employers' time, to be able to generate or start a venture of your own, or to create something of your own. So it doesn't matter what kind of a company, what kind of business that employer is doing. If you are an entrepreneur, you will always see an opportunity out of it. I'm a lecturer. I do consultancy research. I see opportunities out of it. Sometimes I worked with Ernst & Young, an auditing firm, and I was a tax consultant. I saw a lot of opportunities out of it, and I started to do some side hustles from it. So it doesn't matter where you'll be working. You can always, if you have it in you, it can't keep quiet. You always see opportunities. Then we have social entrepreneurs. And these ones who are doing social entrepreneurship, they come up with community-based solutions. So you see somebody wants to have this solution to tackle some problem which is facing the community, the humanity. They launch some foundations, they launch some non-for-profit organizations, some NGOs, and be able to make something out of it. But the first intention is to do some impact in some people's lives. It solves some community problem. And later, or in the course of my life, I realized that there are people who, for them, money comes first. Money comes first, the impact will find me on the way. And then there are those who impact have to be there. Impact have to be there, and then money can find me on the way. And then there are those who are half-half. You know what? I need some impact, but I also need some money. These have to go together. Please put in the chat, who are you in this? Are you the ones who money should come first, impact will find you? Or impact should come first? Or half-half? You think impact is there, but money should also be there. And this will also define you as you proceed with your entrepreneurship journey. Even the ideas which you'll be thinking about, you find yourself thinking about your nature, what you are willing to do. I see people saying half-half and things like that. Okay, great. You can continue to write in the chart if you are falling in which group, because this one will also shape you as you proceed with your entrepreneurship journey. My technology is not moving. Let's see. I can do this. Okay. Let's move. So now I want to give you some quick tips. Quick tips of process to develop business. If now you want to have a business of your own, yes, you're gonna be employed. You're gonna find this job, but others will be like, no, I don't want to be employed. I want to create employment, because we say entrepreneurs or people who are doing entrepreneurship, they're not job seekers, they're job creators, but sometimes we seek jobs and we create jobs. We do all of them together. So these are some tips to help you in the process to develop a business. Number one, come up with a business idea. And this is what I've been talking just a few minutes ago, that when you know yourself, when you know your nature, you'll be able to know what kind of business suits you. If your nature is money should be there in the front, maybe these community things can be not really your area. So be able to know yourself first and be able to develop a business idea from it. So I say here, do what you're good at. You have passion on it. And I really wanted to read some chats. I really hope that people will be able to type first, then we can have some interactions. Because I wanted to ask here, like, what do you think your passion is? What makes you happy to do? Please, can we just write in the chat a little bit? What's your passion? What makes you happy? What do you do when you are having your alone time, or you just want to chill and have your moment? What do you like to do?
Somebody says, I love cooking, Gapinsi. So please, let's share, because in sharing and hearing your ideas out is a way to kind of, sometimes to reconnecting or finding patterns to really what you could do or you could find yourself venturing into. Alex says reading, chatting, reading and I don't know about Anita, if you can elaborate when you say chatting, because this is, can you elaborate on that? Like, how would you put that in a way that is your ability or your passion? Okay, let me read some more. Annette says, I love reading and cooking. Nelson, I listen to music. I have passion for solving problems through technology. Ruth Brenda. Jacqueline, landscaping. I'm really passionate about photography, fashion, and interior decor. Caroline, my passion is real estate and agriculture. Miriam, I love or watch TV movies in my free time. Okay, that's
Yeah. I want to put some people in the spotlight here. Caroline, can you tell us a little bit more? What have you done so far with your passion of real estate and agriculture, if you can share?
Hello.
hi.
Okay. So I said my passion is real estate and agriculture. So I've tried agriculture before. I hired like 5 acres and did vegetables, did poultry and piggery. Yeah, I did it for like, I think 3-4 years. Then, yeah, management was really not so good on my side. Then I kind of closed the business I was doing. And then real estate, when I was working, I managed to acquire some land. So I've tried to build some rentals. Yeah, but I kind of had some problems, financial issues, and sold off the place. So basically that is it.
So you found yourself in this agriculture and real estate because of the passion or because of the opportunity which was there?
I think it was both because I felt it gave me the job security. So to me, it was about the money, but also agriculture is because my parents before were doing agriculture. So somehow I grew up knowing that it's quick money and the interest came easily from growing up because my parents were growing a lot of coffee. So yes.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing. Also want to put somebody else on the spotlight. Ruth Brenda, you said I have passion for solving problems through technology. What have you done so far? Please, can you share? Ruth Brenda. Ruth, are you there?
She's there.
She's not.
I'm in the Daladala, I'm in the transport, so I'll share in the chat. Is that okay?
Sure, thank you. Yes.
Okay.
I see, Palesha, you asked Anita to elaborate, did she? I love chatting.
Yeah, I think I just put a comment just for those, because this is a very important question that you have put out. So I know there are responses that came up like chatting, watching TV. I'm not saying they're not important, but
No. I wanted to see if Anita has responded because I want to ask her something out of this.
Okay.
So Anita, if you are in a position to talk, I just want to ask you something here. What do you think you can be able to do out of this passion of chatting? What idea do you think can come out of this passion of chatting? Anita? Anita is quiet. Okay.
I think she can also add in the chat.
Yes, I'll ask one more person, and then if we don't get a response, then I proceed. Nelson, you say during me time, I mostly listen music. What do you think you can do out of this? How can you make money out of this? Or start a business out of this? Nelson Impalala.
Yeah.
Yes, Nelson.
Okay. You've asked me what I can do out of this passion of listening to music. I really I've not given it so much consideration to see how I can make money out of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Yes, so thank you all. Thank you for your participation, and it's really nice to see that people have very nice different passions, and We all fall on this. I also love music. I love watching movies. I love this and that. But there's always something you can do out of something which you love. And it's advised that you should start from there. You should, if you do, as I said, if you do something which you love, you do it better. But sometimes, okay, we do things which are not really our hobbies, but we have passion for them. We have interest on them. So there's a difference between a hobby and interest on something. Of course, you can make money out of your hobby. If you're a singer or you like singing, maybe you can record some 1, 2, 3 songs and put in YouTube. Nothing wrong with that. If you like chatting, probably you can be a good writer too. Maybe you can write 1, 2, 3 articles and put them out there. If you like talking, maybe you can record some podcasts. Choose a topic you like talking about. It's relationship, it's beauty, it's environment, it's what. Put some podcasts, put them in the forums which you can be there. You love cooking. Maybe you are a baker or you are this. You can do from home. Nowadays we have digital marketing. You can take some photos, send and be able to make money out of your hobby. So there's always a way to be able to turn our passions, turn our hobbies, and be able to create something out of it. So that's the first way to come up with a business idea. But also sometimes we can be doing what others are doing, but we add value in it. So you probably say, I want also to have a shop for selling women clothes, but I want to do it differently. I will do it in this way and that way. Maybe I will do customized, or I will do that way and that way. So we don't copy and paste and be able to say that we are entrepreneurs. That's not creativity. An entrepreneur is somebody who is creative, something put extra innovative, and be able to take a little bit of more risk, more than the other one has taken. If this one have ended here, you want to add one more step from it and be able to do it a little bit more different to what they have done. But also you can develop a business idea by solving a problem in the society. So I knew this, but recently I met a person who was also speaking about the same thing and said that if you want to make a lot of money, you have to solve a problem which can affect a lot of people. Even if it gives you small money at a time, but because it affects a lot of people, then you'll be able to make more money out of it. So even if it's not a problem, like a really problem, but an opportunity or a challenge which people, you are living in a place or you are working in a place and you can see that people are struggling to get food. People have to drive a long distance to be able to get food. And you can say, you know what, but I love cooking. You guys, I can take your orders. You give me your orders. This is the menu, post it in the groups, ask, of course, in the office if it's allowed according to their policies. And then you can say, I can be able to do this. And there you are. You can be able to be getting something out of it by solving a problem which is there. So there's always something in our community. There's always a challenge or a problem. If you look around very carefully, because one of the qualities also of entrepreneurs is great thinkers. They think a lot. So if you look around very careful, give yourself time to think, like, what's the challenge? And sometimes it starts with you. If you feel the challenge, so somebody else is also feeling. And if you do your quick research a little bit, guys, where do you get this? We have to do this. Okay, so where do you get this? What if somebody has this here? Of course, that could be a very good help and stuff like that. So you do your quick research and you'll be able to get some ideas and some confirmation to your idea. So be a great thinker, always be keen and open to the opportunities around you. Do your quick research before you give it a go. So that's another way of being able to develop a business idea. Okay, I wanted to say something here. I don't know if it will add much value to this topic, but this is what I believe. if something is still in the cooking stage, don't share it a lot, especially to people who will discourage you or pull you back, unless you're in that situation or you're in that step or that stage where you want to collect some feedback. But if you're still just thinking about it and doing some research, keep it to yourself for some time, get more information, put it together, have some copyright around it for you to be able to start sharing it. Because believe it or not, people are there waiting for ideas. I know people who have money, but they don't know what to do with their money, where to invest on. So the moment you say it, they get it. And the other thing, before you share your idea with those who call themselves investors or potential sponsors, make sure you ask for a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. Please sign NDAs. I see a lot of my ideas being taken when I share with sponsors or investors or whatever. So keep it to yourself. If you can, find some copyright, or else have some NDA before you share it with potential people who can support. Now I'll go a little bit quick. Conduct your market research on your idea. I was just talking about it. See who are the potential customers. What's the ideal location of your business, not just anywhere. Who are the competitors who are already there? And what do they have? What do they miss? So you do some sort analysis. Are there some similar products in the market? Yes, everyone else is selling juice. What's different to my juice? Is it packaging? Is it the color? Is it the flavor? Is it the way I'm mixing fruits? Or is it the way maybe I'm branding it? I say that this can add blood in you, can add this, can sort this. So if there are similar products, what can I do about it? So when the essence of doing the market research is not just to know information, but to see how to position yourself with the information which you collect. Again, how to price, because most of people who we do business, we really, sometimes we don't think much on pricing. I was just talking to one woman the other week. She built her hostel for university students close by the university. And then she called me to go and check the hostel and advise her on some 1, 2, 3. And then I asked her what's the price. And she gave me very huge price for the room. And I said to her, the people who are charging that price are those who are already in the market. They've already done with the landscaping, everything is there. And for you, you're still in that building stage, and people don't know you, they don't know the location. Maybe you just put a low price to penetrate the market. And she was not ready to put a low price to penetrate the market. She was like, no, I put a lot of money in this and I took a loan, I have to repay and stuff like that. But that's not the way. There's a way to price when you're just entering in the market so that you can be able to capture the market. The other thing is pilot sell for customers' feedback. When you have your product or your service, do some pilots for some feedback. Listen, be positive, be humble when you're receiving them. Show that you appreciate their feedback. Read between the lines. There's always that friend of yours who will be like, oh, this is so good, you're doing so well. But in reality, they know that, maybe this one is not good, this one is not good. Or somebody will be like, yeah, you're doing so great, but this color could have been different, but otherwise you're doing so great. So that's a small sentence. The small sentence which they say, but this color could have been different. That's the one which you should take it home. Don't be drunk with only the positive feedback. Also look between the lines to find some truth. Not the pattern of the answers. If everyone says it's good, maybe 95% of people said it's good, and just few people say, no, it's completely bad. Still listen to them, but don't be completely discouraged because at least you have some good number with good feedback. Listen carefully and ask them questions. Again, another point, register your business. Don't do things informally. Just decide a great way of registering your business. When you register it, it's easy for you to be able to create and develop your brand very formally. And you can be able to confidently sell your brand out there in the public, and something which can be there over time. And you can see there's a potential for growth inside of it. So there's a lot of benefits for you to have your business registered. Also, you can be able to bid for big clients. You can fish big customers, big clients, when you have your business which being formally or registered. Name the business correctly. Don't put your grandpa's name as the name of your business. You can, but be careful. You know, you want that name which people can remember. You don't want a name which people will be like, you know, that business, that one, that company, I forgot the name because it's so long. You know what I'm saying? So be very strategic when you name your business so that people can remember it. They can memorize it easily. Follow government procedures, get license and permits and all that, and make sure that you're clean and everything is clean. Write a business plan. So I didn't put a lot of details in this because this one is also a topic on itself and I don't want to go into this. But it's very important for you to have a business plan so that you can be able first to maneuver yourself around your business and see the growth, because when you prepare your business plan, you can be able to do some forecasting. Where do you see yourself? You can be able to compare yourself from one year to another, the way you're growing. But you see, I put an arrow that when you write a business plan, you can also be able to use it as a way to finance your business. There's some people who they will want to see your business plan before they give you money. Okay, so when you start, we can start with our savings, start with our own savings. Sometimes we want to capitalize on our close family's money, but also some loans or some investors to chip in. But some people will want to see your business plan, to see that's how serious you are, but also the potential on the growth of their money before they give you the money. So this is very important. Can you kindly just read it further on your own self, how to write a business plan. I don't know if we have any other mentorship session, but if somebody, you can write to me and I will share with you maybe some tips on writing a business plan. Start production. So when you put everything together, you did already your pilot cell for the feedback, everything is there. Now you can be able to start the production. And here, invigilate the whole process. Don't leave somebody to do it for you. And I know here is where now the people who are in the career will be like, how, where, when can I get time to do this, to do that? So this is what I always say, because, and this can be different from one person to another, but I believe that most of the time in our workplaces, we have our leave time, we have our leave days. So the one way of doing it, you can take your leave days when you are in the leave. You can now start to invigilate the process so that you can understand your business and set some systems. When you have some systems down, you already mastered your business. You know how it goes, the normal sales, daily sales in average, weekly sales in average. Where are the loopholes where somebody can be able to capitalize on that? So you will understand the whole process. You set some systems, some processes to be able, some internal controls to be able to manage your business even if you're not there. Maybe you can use that time also to be able to collect some writing and something like that. So the first place to start is when we have time. Don't start it when you are at work and just say, I've paid for the office or I've paid for the frame. Okay, I'll put some things there, the merchandise are there, or the services is starting. And you are not there, completely there. You have never been there. Don't do that. Please set time, be there, invigilate the whole process, understand the system, understand your business, so that you really know the hit points to ask. Have an expert to monitor. If you're not an expert on that, or if you know that you're not going to be able to be there 100% all of the time, have an expert to monitor. So this person can maybe a partner in your business, or a shareholder in your business, or sometimes you can also use this model where somebody is there and you share profit. So you agree, you have some agreement that you do profit sharing, and not a salary, but profit sharing. And this person should be an expert, bringing some value in the business so that they know what they are doing, and you can be able to split some profit without them being partners, official partners in the documents, or shareholders in the company, something like that. Deal with experts, not generalists. Don't buy people's words. There are those people who will come to you and be like, oh, don't worry, mama, or don't worry, sir. This one, we know what to do. We know how to do it. I've been doing this. You know, those people are speaking a lot, and they win you, and you leave your business with them. And before you know it, everything is gone. You better pay somebody a little bit more, but you're sure that this one is an expert on this area, not a generalist, a Django of all trade. No, 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 no. Don't rely on one person for everything. You know, those people who are, example, opening a bakery, and then this one chef, if this one chef quit a job today, the bakery is closed. Don't do that. Don't rely on one person for everything. Make sure you yourself, you know the business. You know a little bit of baking. Even if this baker say, I'm not coming to work, before, when you're in the transition period, maybe you can be there and cover as you are transitioning to another baker. So a little bit, you should have an idea to the business, and don't rely on one person for everything. They will take advantage of you. They will know they have power on you. They will just move you around the way they want, which you don't want, because your money is there, your time is there, you put some resources in it. So you don't want people to do that to you. Get affordable expert with enough expertise required. Then build the right team. Make sure you build the right team. Explain to them your vision. As I said in the beginning, not everyone will be able to see your vision because you're the one who is carrying this vision, but you want them to be able to own it because they are going to be working with you. You're going to work as a team. So make sure you get some time, you set some time to explain to them your vision. Follow some recruiting procedures, and here I mean, don't just take your auntie's daughter, your uncle's son, you know, that person from the village who you can pay cheap labor and stuff like that. If you really want to be serious with your thing and you want to see it growing, do follow some recruiting. Get some few names, hear from them what's their experience on the thing which you want them to come and do. Do they have potential for growth? Are they people who you can teach them? Do some interviews, whatever in your language. When we say interview, it doesn't have to be a big interview. Even if you're paying them $10 or $50, still it's money, and you want to be building your team with the right people. So follow the recruiting procedures and not just take anyone, but also create some company culture. Make sure you have a culture and they understand the culture, the team understand the culture, and they do it. How do they deal with the customers? How do you welcome the customers? You see some hotels, you will go, and the moment you're there, they will give you a drink, they will ask you to sit and stuff like that. They've created a culture of their own selves. So when they come in their shop, it doesn't matter, it's a mini shop, or it's a business place, or it's a company, whatever. When somebody enters there, how do they receive the person, the customer care, the customer service? How do they talk to the person? The staff relations, how do they relate to each other? You have to build that. Dressing code, office arrangement, etc., etc. So you have to think, what's the culture of my small shop? What's the culture around my venture or my business or my firm? What's the culture among my in my factory, my mini factory? I also want to have a culture around so that my team can follow my culture. And this one is not there, but also be a leader, not a boss. If you want your team to be able to work with you, not to work for you, be a leader and work with them so that they can be able to really understand what you're visioning. So those are some tips for you as you're thinking about opening your business idea, and maybe you can find others, or maybe when I'm answering some questions I can touch. But I want to go back in the beginning when I started with the case study, and I talked about this case of this lady who was fired. So this is what happened. Fast forward, almost 4 years later, the lady was saying, I run my own coaching company. I have built a powerful online brand, done numerous TV interviews, changed the lives of over 1,000 individuals with transformative personal finance coaching, and I'm making over 10x what I would have made in my previous job. And guess what? I'm more fulfilled and working in my purpose more than ever before. While that may seem easy and like it was a walk in the park, it is not. In fact, nothing could be further from the truth. It has been earned through blood, sweat, and tears. And if God hadn't been on my side, I would have been nowhere close to who I am today. A few things that she learned on her journey that she wants to share. I'm going to read them for you. First, she said, don't give your employer 8 hours a day and come home and give yourself 0 hours. Don't do that. You are not tired. You are just unmotivated. I wish I gave myself even just 1 hour after work to upskill or work on my dream outside of employment. My journey would have been easier, and so would have been the transition after I lost my job. So what she's saying is, after a job, after working, after coming back to home, are you just gonna sit there and watch your movie and eat your dinner and sleep, wake up in the morning again and go to work? Or are you gonna use that time to try to think of something you can do for yourself? Are you gonna use that time to pass at your business place, or to do some clients work which you're doing at home, working at home? So don't just say, I'm just tired, I'm just gonna sleep. Push yourself a little bit. Then she says, learn as much as you can in the place that you are, even if you hate the place. To be honest, a huge part of why it was easy for me to get into personal finance coaching was because I made a point to learn and be curious in my previous workplace. It was an investment company, so I learned as much as I could about the market, read a lot, interact with clients to know what drives people, and none of that was part of my job description. Today, I make money from that. So don't stop on your job description. Add yourself. I wish I can say that in Swahili, jiongeze. But what I mean is do something extra. Don't just sit there. Be curious. Have a third eye. Have your 2 eyes there and a third eye. What else? Learn, network, keep some networks, see opportunities, get the most out of it. Then she said, maximize your strength and skill set. She said, I'm not the girl that had your typical talents such as art, sport, or anything, but I've been a confident speaker, orator, and writer since I've known myself. Combine that with a sufficient knowledge on finance, a degree in economics, and a coaching certificate, and we are where we are today. I talk for a living, and I don't remember anyone teaching me to maximize that in school. In fact, I was told to shut up a lot and stop being a here. So she says, maximize your strength and your skill set. That's what we were just talking about. You have your passion, you have your hobbies, you know what you're good at. You're a good artist, you're a good singer, you're a good guitar player, you are good, you're good at sports, you're a good cooker, you're a good what? You see, she said I was good speaker. She could speak a lot. You're a good writer and something like that. And the list goes on. How can you be able to capitalize on that and be able to make money out of that? There's always something which you can do out of it. I wanted to share something here and just skipped me. If I remember, I will share it. Then she said, Bet on yourself and commit to finding out your superpowers. She said her superpower was people skills, emotional intelligence, and resilience. Take time to know what you are truly passionate about. I'm passionate about people and people growth and improvement. Why is that important? Where your passion lies, your purpose lies. And trust me, your money lies there too. This is what we've been talking in the beginning. So she's saying the same thing. What's your superpowers? What can you capitalize on? And this one, you will only be able to get it. Sometimes you have to dig yourself a little bit more. We know what we know from the face, but when you dig yourself a little bit more, you realize that you have these hidden talents. Even you yourself, you never know about them. You have these potential skills, which you just need to brush them a little bit more, and you can be able to do a lot out of them. So get time to sit by your own self, with your own self, and find out what are those things which you're good at. And sometimes listening to other people when they tell you, what are you good at? They think you're a good speaker. They think that you're a good what? You're a good writer. They think, and sometimes they don't see it on your own self, but people say it. So pay attention to what people say, pay attention to your own self, and find out what are your superpowers. And then she said, hard work, determination, patience, consistency, and a refusal to give up when things get hard beats talent any day. A strong work ethic is underrated. So in this sentence, you can see a lot here. She's speaking about hard working. So you have to work a little bit extra than everyone else. You are doing both. You're doing career, you are doing entrepreneurship. It's not a joke. You have to put yourself there. They say when you're doing this, you're living like a slave now, but later you're gonna live like a king. And that's true. We see examples for that from a lot of people around us. So you have to work a little bit more harder, push a little bit more, have determination, be patient. Things are not going to be happening in one day. This famous quote, Roma is not built in one day, was not built in one day. So even that big business, big real estate compound, big whatever you're thinking about, you have this big vision, big dreams, which we really love. Have patience. Go take one day at a time. Go a step to a step. Check a next step before you see the 10 steps. Because when you look at the next step, when you accomplish that next step, it gives you power to move to the other step. You want to be in the real estate, start with the land if you want to do that way, because real estate also is very huge. You can do by having a land, build some rentals and things like that. Some people do some flipping. They take houses, they renovate, they sell. Some people do some B&Bs, a lot. So even in real estate, there's a lot you can do. In agriculture, the value chain is long. In manufacturing, whatever which you want to do, try to read the industry, read the place, and take your steps very calculated and be patient. The other thing, be consistent. Don't do it today. You put it all today, tomorrow you're not there. You have to be consistent. Consistent in the way you're motivated to eat, consistent in delivering, consistency in quality, consistency in quantity. Be consistent. People, they watch that, they look at it, they read that. That's how they can be able to build their trust on you and their confidence on you. If today you are this way, tomorrow you are that way, the other one which you did good doesn't count anymore. You're not reliable. Don't give up. I already talked about it. Because and then she said about work ethics, which is very, very important. Don't start to be untrustworthy and have these side ways which are not very clean. Try to be as clean as possible. Have some ethics in your work. Respect your work. Respect the people you are working with. Respect your network, your suppliers, your clients, your fellow team members, yourself. Also respect your brand. Have some work ethics, and you'll be able to see some growth and some development on what you're doing. So I've spoken a lot. let me stop there. Thank you for listening, and let's talk some questions or some addition. Thank you, Falesh.
Thank you, Dr. Nema. Thank you so much. Round of applause for a wonderful presentation. I think our participants have been getting interesting insights, and yeah, thank you for sharing that. So let's all share perhaps our inputs, comments, suggestions, as we left with a few minutes, about 20 minutes before we wind up the session. And I think this was very educative as well. You know, when we hear about entrepreneurship, most of us just think about, you know, getting started with a business. Some people think I must have capital, like money. Yes, they're important, but you know, there are so many other factors also that we have seen. First, even from this testimony of this lady who rose up from being unemployed, like losing a job after 3 years, to getting started from the ground. I didn't see, like, you know, the things that the lady attributes to her success is a lot that has to do with, you know, herself, how she built her character around work, and her passions, and how she pursued purpose. So the more we learn about these things, you know, it's more about mindset shift. It's all about working with things that are more inside of you and working towards maximizing your capabilities to get the best out of what is outside of you. So thank you so much, Dr. Nema, for taking us through those great tips. Sometimes we forget to do the research. We just run out with things, start things because everybody else is doing, or it's easy to do. But as we see, there's a lot to do that, you know, that is also important. So thank you so much. I think there are a few questions here. Maybe we can just get started with them. I hope, Dr. Nema, you're ready and set. So one is thank you everyone who is sharing comments and word of appreciation. That's really great. It's encouraging to our facilitators to know that her session has been put to use, or it's been useful to you guys. So let me start with, I think I saw someone about, Miriam asked if you can share a bit on how to write a business plan. I know that's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. There's probably a course on that or a whole other session, but maybe just to shed a bit of light, maybe some of the important elements on it. And then we'll get to Caroline's question, whether it's important for someone to have financial and management skills or knowledge to help them run the business. Must you have them as an entrepreneur? Like you have to learn them, you have to be aware of them, or something like that. And if there are more questions, please, let's keep them coming for the few minutes, and then let's maximize it. Dr. Nema, welcome.
Thank you everyone for your comments and your appreciation and the questions which are coming. Well, I hear the question about the business plan, and I agree that that's a lot of, I'm just trying to think around how I can be able to share maybe some tips. Okay, so when you are writing a business plan, let me just keep it simple. When we are writing a business plan, first we write about our businesses. So you will have to write about your business. What's the name of your business? Where's the location? All the information. Is it registered? What's the registration number? If it has a permit, where is it located? Every single detail about your business, which you think that somebody might be asking, you should be able to include it in the first chapter of your business plan. And then you have to do, for me, I like what I call situation analysis. So situation analysis should be probably your second chapter, of which you can do internal situation analysis and external situation analysis. So for internal, you will try to check different points of your business. maybe you can analyze a little bit about your staff, maybe. Okay, let's start about your organization structure. So write a little bit what's your organization structure, management, and things like that. Then you can talk about your facilities which you have. So do some analysis around there. What do you expect to have? What do you have currently? What machines, equipments, or buildings, or whatever. So do some situation analysis on the facilities and equipments. Then do some situation analysis also internal and for your human resource. Maybe you can write that this business could have benefited with 5 marketers, 3 production, whatever, but currently we have this and this and this. So when we do a situation analysis, we write what we think the business could have benefited from what we envision, and what do we have currently. Also do some financial situation analysis. Currently, what's the capital, what's the profit if you've already started a business, what's the expenses if you've already started, and where do you see that this is going? Do some analysis also on your clients. What's the clients you're looking forward to be connected to, what you have, and things like that. So when you do the clients, you also do the market you're targeting on, everything about the clients, the description of the clients you're targeting, where they're located, demographic factors, and all that. You do that analysis. Then you do external analysis. In external analysis, you analyze the industry, which most of people, they skip. So analyze the industry. If you are working in the technology, insurance technology, or finance technology, fintech, whatever, or manufacturing, real estate, whatever, do some analysis, situation analysis in the industry, the growth, how is it faring currently, where do you position yourself, the chain, the supply chain or the value chain, where do you position yourself, and things like that. Then in the external, also do some analysis on the competitors. What do they have? What do they miss? What are the opportunities, and things like that. In external, you can also touch on regulations and government regulations or whatever, which relates to your business. So you can take your homework and see, if I want to have a daycare, maybe, what are the regulations which are currently existing, touching education, maybe education laws or whatever, what do they say in relation to my business of having a daycare? So check what does the government have out there, directives, laws, and policies which relate to your business. So from this situation analysis, which is a heart of the business plan, you will be able now to have your SWOT analysis, your strength, your weaknesses or challenges, your opportunities, and your threats. So you will have this. After that, you will see that that one has a lot in it. Then you will be able to do some financial plan with respect to what you're targeting to do. And from financial plan, you can do some forecasting and also include some investment plan inside of it. So that one, financial and investment plan, also has a lot of categories in it. You can identify your investment needs, be very specific that this is what I target, this is the amount I'm looking forward to raise, and this amount will be able to generate maybe this profit, and you're looking to raise this amount through debt or equity, so that the potential investors can understand. Do you want to raise that amount through loans, or do you want to raise that amount by having extra shareholders or partners in the business? And if you want to have them as partners or shareholders, how much are you willing to share in terms of profit? What percentage of profit are you willing to share with them? So that has to be very clear. For those who have watched Lion Den, you will see that people will pitch their ideas. After they pitch, these investors will be like, okay, if I put money, how much are you willing to give me? And are you open for debt or equity or something like that? So that has to be very clear in the chapter when you discuss financial and investment plan. Of course, you can put other things like revenue projections, cost, operation expenses, etc., etc. And then don't forget to put implementation plan. It's one thing to have this amazing business plan, but people also want to see how are you expecting to implement this plan. Put some phases and put some milestones. So maybe phase 1 will go from 1 year to year 1 to year 3, or year 1 to year 2. What am I expecting to achieve by then, etc., etc. So you see, like I've mentioned, like 4 major chapters. The introduction one, which is about you, situation analysis, which capture a lot of things, investment and financial plan, and then implementation plan. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nema. I think that was very well detailed elaboration. And I think, yeah, sometimes we have these business plans that are so much packed. Some companies or businesses will develop these and never get to use them because it's like so many pages, so much complicated. You can't even share it. So I think the purpose of a business plan is to be used for the purpose that it's created for, whether it's outsourced funding or if it's to help, you know, redirect or have the organization grow through a certain trajectory, like to align with your strategy or something like that. So those elements,
yeah,
that
maybe to add in that, yes, Valencia. So what you've raised a very good point there. And some people can get scared of when they hear these big documents. So first, keep it simple. Be realistic. Just have a skeleton, you can feed it as you continue. But if you manage to have this big document, have a concept note also out of it. So I've seen that working. Some people will say, submit your business plan and a concept, which is the summary of your business plan.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, I think that's very good. And Taylor, if you're not yet employing 100 people, you don't have to have a huge business plan. Make it simple to where you are right now, as long as it has those mentioned segments that are important. Have things that tailor to your needs where you are, so that you don't have to be overwhelmed. I think that's important to add to that, but it's good to create one that works for you. It will help you in case you have funding opportunities, you get some clients, partners, even the compliances, like revenue authorities or things like that. If you have your plan in place, however simple it is, it puts you in a safer position. Next question, Dr. Nema, is from Caroline, I think, about skills, whether you should you have the financial managerial skills or knowledge as a business person, as an entrepreneur. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, okay, so you don't have to have a degree in finance or accounting or whatever to be able to be a good entrepreneur. But in one point in the journey, you have to have these skills and knowledge about finance. And you will see that a lot of banks nowadays, or people who support SMEs, they will say that it's very important that they get some courses for financial management. Because if you don't know how to manage your finances, it's very, very difficult for you to see some progress. So if you don't have this from your formal education, find a way to invest on that and get even a short course and learn about how to manage finances, business finances. And this is a very simple course. It's not like complicated with the mathematics and formulas. It's very simple, how to manage your money. And so I would say that find a way to invest on that, because it's very important.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. There's another question about partnership. Is partnership ideal, especially in the starting stage of any business intervention? Because I've had some challenges later in the process due to the other partner changing in their goals.
Yeah, that's tricky. That's tricky because because I have been in those shoes before. And I had businesses with partners, and then when we speak before we start, it's like, yo, this is the right one, let's do it. And then things always be like, and then I would say, I will never have partners. I will just do it on my own self. And then later I'll be like, but I need some people. So this is what I say. And this is what I always tell people who ask me this question. First, be very careful when you select a partner, and have a partner who is adding a substantial value in that partnership, something which you do not have. That's what I always like to say. So I'm also having a company, and I have partners. So it was very strategic for all of us when we were selecting each other. So be like, you have networks, I don't have much networks, so I need you for your networks. You have a lot of experiences and stuff, I need you for that experience. You are the pusher. You see, I have networks, I have experience, but I can't push. So we need somebody who can push. So I need you there. So make sure that this person is bringing on the table something that you don't have. And from time to time, make sure you sit down and you evaluate the way it's going. And for that one, be very straightforward. If it's not working, sit down there and tell yourself, be authentic, tell yourself the truth, that the way it's going, it's not making progress, it's not working, maybe it's not very healthy for us to proceed like this. So don't rush into it. Take your time, and it doesn't have to be your friend or relative or whatever, but yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Nema. So we are out of time, but let's see how we can maximize on this. I think also if people have more specific case scenario, Dr. Nema is I think you'll be okay to maybe address some of the questions later, is it? Would you? If people have very sensitive or cases, I think we can facilitate that. Juliet asks, how can we learn to make business pitches that are attractive? You guys asking very long, complicated topics that would require so much time. Juliet, would you like to maybe give a specific, I don't know, Dr. Nema, how do you see that? I think, because I'm not sure if we might have time for that, enough time.
Yeah,
but maybe
that's a topic on itself.
Yeah. So Juliet, would you like to maybe elaborate or just give a specific thing that you would like to have it addressed? But if you want us to talk about making an attractive pitch, that is a whole another thing. Maybe try to be as specific as you can. Would you be able to do that? Okay, let's
okay,
see.
While she's trying to do that, maybe I can say one thing on that. So I saw these people were having this question, and somebody said that for a attractive business pitch, the one which comes from the impact or the outcome or the feel you want to create. So don't start your business pitch with I'm having this what. Start by, I love to make people happy with their outfits. And so I have this tailoring, which I am creating this. But in the get-go, people see your passion. Like, I love to give people good food. So I decided to have this restaurant, which is focusing on African, etc. Start with what you want to achieve. What's the feeling you want to live out there before you start to say what you're doing? Grab their attention first. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think Juliet typed something. I'm trying to start a startup on coffee and rice, and they asked me to provide a business pitch. I totally have no idea. Oh, okay. So you're coming from a place where you have no idea what a pitch involves. Okay, I would like to. I think Dr. Nema can give a quick snapshot on that. Probably like maybe a minute or two.
Malaysia.
Yes.
Please do.
Okay, so first of all, I would say Google has a lot of information. You'll find a lot of insights, but what's important is what Dr. Nema said. It's a very important thing, because a pitch can be 2 minutes, it can be 3 minutes. You remember what we did over knowing your worth we did an exercise, a pre-session. I don't know if you were there, but there was a quest. There's a task where you had to talk to a HR person over the elevator that was going to the ground floor. You had about 30 seconds or 1 minute to talk to her in a way that she will, you leave an impression that she will consider you for an interview or another thing. So that's what the pitch is about. You're making that great first impression about your work. Yes, thank you that you're part of that exercise. So think about that. They don't want to know so much about the business plan. That is later. That's how you're going to sell in that 2-3 minutes. That will be the decision whether they want to go through all the long documents you have. Maybe if it's the things behind the business, like they want to come maybe visit the office or more information. But in those few minutes, 2, 3, or 10 minutes you have, sometimes 30 minutes, you have to make the best first impression. So that's in a nutshell. Just think about it. So there are few elements. That's what I'm saying. If you Google, you will find, but it's all about making it short, but very powerful. So what Dr. Nema said about, starting with your story, your why, people want to attach your personal story to that idea. In as much as, everyone is solving the hunger problem, but how are you doing it differently? Why should they listen to you? Why not maybe UNICEF or whatever. So you have to make it very special, okay? So that story is everything, okay? And think there are 100 people like you who are doing the same thing. But how is Juliet's story very unique to have people, touched and start to go through that? So that's the idea. So your why, and then your what. So by the time you bring, okay, so this is the product that I'm, this is coffee, or this is, it's packaged, it's nice, it looks nice. People now are like, oh, that's the what, that's the product, but they've already known the why, okay? And then the other things like the how. So what Dr. Nema took you through, some of the things like the business plan and what, they follow. So make sure it's maybe sometimes it's around 10, 12 slides or 15, it depends with the time you have. But those elements are the most important. So if you have a team, if you have, how are you doing that? So you can look for there are different tips online you will find that will help you. And then once you have it, one more thing, practice. Okay, nobody does it perfectly. Okay, practice 1,000 times, because you need to be within time, you need to be captivative. So practice, find people to guide you, to mentor you through it, to hear you, record yourself, practice, and so much. And as you do it, you learn. Even if you lose this opportunity, try another one. And just before I hand over to Dr. Nema, let me tell you guys, every time I look at the internet, I find opportunities. So many funding opportunities, guys. There's a lot of money for so many causes. They're just looking for people who are keen enough to maximize. So I really wish, I don't know, but guys, be on the lookout. If you have something you're passionate about, but be serious. I also believe that if I had money, I would look for serious people to really invest in. But guys, you can, if you're jobless, you're broke, and you're looking for opportunities, think about these things. Start a project. Think of something. There is a lot of money in issues of poverty, in issues of hunger, in issues of education, in issues of, I don't know what to say, guys. Agriculture, environment, like, I don't know, So women, gender, so many, like I come across so many opportunities. So please, let's maximize on these opportunities. Learn the skills. Try, start small. Work on these things. Start small and see where that takes you. And you'll be amazed. So you might be the job creator of tomorrow, that we are, you're a job seeker and then you're a job creator, and you find yourself, giving opportunities to people. So this is something I really wanted to share. And if you need help along the way, seek help. It's best to seek help. If someone is not willing to help you, don't be broken. Just keep on. And there will be people who are happy to give you their time and value and see you grow. So, and I'm speaking this from experience. I have a good network. When I had ideas, I reached out to people and they helped me, they motivated me. Everything, it's possible. So we're not speaking, Dr. Nema is speaking from our own journey, our own experience. So, and that's what Nani does. We bring you the audience that really takes you through not wish-washy things or imaginary things, but they might seem small, obvious, but they're practical and they've been working. Okay. So I thought I could just add to that. Thank you, Dr. Nema. Please, your last words, and then we'll do a closing.
Yeah, it has been an amazing session. It was interactive. Thank you all for being interactive. And I see people still have a lot of questions, and they really want that one-on-one. And for this one, I would say probably you will need to find a mentor or a coach who can coach you through in entrepreneurship. Even after this session, always find somebody who has already made some progress who can journey with you. But just to finish, I should say that where we are going, where the world is going, we have to be more innovative, creative, be willing to take more risks and go into entrepreneurship, because that's what is expected. But also, if you want to be wealthy and have money, you can't be rich from being employed. Take it from me. So you have to be out there and solve some problems and make money out of it. So I wish you all the very best in your journeys, and you can reach out to me anytime you want my advice on something. Thank you, Felicia, for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nema. The most hardworking juggler of career and entrepreneur that I know. Thank you so much for this. And I would like to thank our participants really for the journey. I think this is our last facilitator-led session that we are having. We have had, I think, a total of 13 sessions so far. We have one more to go, which is the final one on Tuesday. Please don't miss out that one. Please, please, please. I think Baraka will help me share some of the links for the announcements, but please let's not miss the next session, which will be just a relaxed, reflective session. Make sure if you have not catched up with any of the previous sessions, try to take time over the weekend and Monday to just review. If you have any questions that need clarification, share with us. If you need any kind of support, we'll try our best to get to them, so that when we have this culminating session on Tuesday, we kind of look through and reflect at our journey since the 1st of October when we started, and just kind of ending it. But also it's like a beginning, because we have amazing stuff that we have for you guys to kind of make this sustainable as our little network that we aim to continue. So share if you have been before, if you know someone whom you've been attending with to the session. Let's remind each other not to miss on Tuesday. Otherwise, I thank you all for your patience, your wonderful engagement. I'm so impressed with you all. So just tell yourself, well done to me. Please, if you can just do that, or in the chat as well. Just give yourself heads up. Well done to me. Tell yourself, well done to me. Well done to me. You guys are amazing. I just admire you all. I thank you all. Alex, Amina, Anita, Baraka, Caroline, Christopher, Eric, Gapinsi, Garmai, Grace, Hambelela, Harriet, Jacqueline, Juliet, Miriam, Nelson, Rutendo, Ruth, Brenda, Thomas, and of course our wonderful facilitator, Dr. Nema. So thank you all. Have a great, wonderful day. Oh, and Baraka. So have a great evening. Have a great rest of the day, or whatever time it is on your end. Let's meet again on Tuesday. Until then, stay well, stay safe, and thank you so much.